Hello, this is my entry for the Sony Vlog Challenge. I've been asked what, who and where, and I'm going to attempt to answer those questions as best as I can. So what is it that I do? I love telling stories, and this is telling my daughter stories, this is telling stories via videos, writing stories, absolutely everything to do with storytelling. Who am I? Okay, relax, I don't know one of those things, I'm just being silly. Okay, so I've got a lot of nicknames. But officially I'm known as David Douglas Stewart, and I'm a multimedia journalist. So that means I make videos, I write articles, I take photos, but I'm also a father, a husband, a friend, and much more. Where am I? So I'm currently living in a place called Shibushi in Japan's south. We're living in a little house in the forest. How did I get here? It's a bit of a long story, but let me try to help you out. So about 2 years ago, I was in my dream job making videos for the Australian Broadcasting Corporation and loving every single moment of it. We had a couple of kids, a mortgage, great relationship, but my wife and I also had a bit of a dream that we'd been thinking about for 10 years. And on New Year's Day 2019, we made a video announcing our plans. We're going to take our kids around the world starting in March. It's not a holiday, it's a new format for living. We're going to stay in each location for a few months and connect with communities along the way. We sold our house, sold our possessions, I quit my job, took our daughter out of school, and then we set off on the adventure. So we started off on a tiny little island in Japan, and after that we went over to Europe and spent 3 months there, traveling all across the continent using trains. We had to leave Europe because we were only allowed to stay there for 3 months because of our visas. But then we went to South Korea for a month. As our time in South Korea came to an end, we started to have a few little surprises. First of all, I lost my grandfather. Secondly, we found out my wife was pregnant. And then COVID hit. So we had to make a choice. What are we going to do? Are we going to go back to Australia and set up life again? We weren't quite ready to do that. So we decided to settle here in Shibushi. It's a really beautiful area. There are lovely mountains and rivers, and there's beaches, everything you could kind of hope for. Shibushi is not exactly a tourist hub, but it's really beautiful. There's an abundance of forest, everything's green. There are tea fields, rice paddies, lots of agriculture and logging, stuff like that. So it's not a bad place to be locked down for in this pandemic. Some of the streets here are super narrow, so when you're driving you sometimes have to stop and reverse to let someone else go past. We're about 45 kilometers away from the most active volcano in Japan, and some people are saying that it's going to go off sometime soon. We've gone through a couple of typhoons this year. We've made a lot of friends since we've moved here, and one of those friends lent me his bike. I've been using that to explore this area. It's really beautiful. My daughter goes to a school where there's only a handful of kids, and my son's been going to a kindergarten where they teach them to walk on their hands and do all kinds of crazy stuff. So I love it here, but I also miss having a big trampoline at home. I've also been rollerblading since I was very young, and I miss that. So I'd love to be hitting some skate parks, but unfortunately there aren't any around here, so I have to make do just with the local infrastructure on my recreational skates, which is better than nothing. So my brother and I are really close, but we live in different places. He's in Melbourne and I'm here in Japan. But we love doing projects together. We've done lots of videos together. Every time we catch up, we tend to do something. We call them projects. And recently we've been working on a show together that we do over the internet. Unfortunately, because of COVID, I wasn't able to be there for the birth of my son, and I didn't get to see him for the first week. I couldn't hold him or anything like that. I had to be content with video calls, which again is better than nothing. Apparently my grandfather had to climb up a tree outside the hospital back in the day to see my mum. I work freelance, so at the moment I've kind of put everything on hold while I focus on my fathering duties. So what's next for the five of us? Yeah, good question. I don't really know yet, but I'm enjoying being here in Shibushi, and we'll see what the future holds. Thanks for watching.